No, you're dumb, dude. Bro, what the fuck is that? I gotta remove them. Can't stand fucking bums, bro. My girlfriend's mom's been asking Brianna's husband to fucking come fix the toilet for like 3 weeks now. And he goes, yeah, I'll go next weekend. Yeah, I'll go next weekend. Yeah, I'll go next weekend. And he never comes.
I'm gonna go stand it here and pressure wash my desk. I gotta get
The fuck is up with the patio? Brand new.
Yeah, construction. Never.
This is nothing like Durban, dog, you fucking liar.
Did you see how he did the pavers?
No.
Did the pavers like 15 feet out from the patio all the way across the house and the side of the house? And I'm
Alright, so 5-minute flipping bullish, 15-minute flipping bullish after respecting and closing back into range. 30-minute close respecting. We need a top wick on that 30. I'm gonna have a buy stop here. If you're paying attention, I'm gonna have a buy stop here. Buy stop. Spamming buys? No, I was in drawdown, homie. This was pre-stream. Drawdown, 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 drawdown. Got out in profit, and I just got 20 pips on that push. I'm technically up like 80 pips for the night. First trade on stream, 20 pip push, 1 second trade. 100 pip runner right now, you savage. You savage, you savage. How does that feel, bro? When you're like, I gave up a couple of break evens, and then you catch the banger. Look, the market mechanic has a 50% win rate for a reason. You're like, how can you be comfortable with losing 50% of the time? It's because the 50% of the time that he's right, the market moves. And it's not that the other 50% of the time he's wrong. It's that the other 50% of the time he goes break even or he gets stopped out because it wasn't a push just yet. But yeah, bro, I was in drawdown. I took an entry here, I took a pineapple here, I took a pineapple here, a pineapple here, and then I took a couple more pineapples here. And then I got out in profit right here for 50 pips. And then I took the rebreak of the high here. I was so deep in pineapples that this pullback would have probably liquidated my account. I had to close right here. Is there a way to stop my buys from slipping? No. I got slipped there too. Who else can roll a joint, take a trade, and catch 20 pips at the same time? Can you let me know when you close any orders later, Eddie? Yes. This was early, so if you didn't make it to stream within the first 15 seconds, literally, I just called this entry right now. 20 pips. It drove 48, but... Yeah, actually, if you give options all of your money, he can stop it from slipping by it never slipping you ever again. The slippage goes into his account. Yeah, I was not expecting a trade that quick. I got onto stream during this candle. Then this candle happened, and I set a buy stop on the next candle. Is that manual car a paddle shifter, bro? Is that what you're calling a manual car, dog? My car's manual. You have paddle shifters, G. I'm just kidding. I'm busting your balls. If these were underneath, I would be taking the money printer flip bullish here. I would be taking a buy stop here for the money printer flip bullish. I don't like these levels. That would have been a valid money printer. 23 pips. Wow. If I were to take buys there on the rebreak of the high, we're breaking into a new range. So we already did close into the range. We came down, we grabbed orders, and now we're bouncing back out of the range. So if we can get some closures back above these levels here, I would look for more buys. I can take maybe a rebreak of the high here, or a wick fill here. We got 45 pips. One minute push. That's 5 minute no bottom wick, 5 minute no bottom wick. We need a wick like this one, pulling back, grabbing wicks, and then a continuation up. So that's exactly why I want to wait for these levels to be clearly broken. I want to wait for these levels to be clearly broken, and then I can take buys on the continuation up to the daily highs. So let's give it some time. When you're feeling like that, it's because you've cracked the code. You've cracked the code to price action, and you pretty much understand it, and all that's left is you following the plan and purely the plan. You see what I'm saying? That's where a lot of us are in our journey, right? A lot of us already figured this shit out. All of us already figured out the candles. We already figured out the analysis, the entries, the exit. We just have to stick to our plans. I consider this the trading floor. I consider this the trading floor. And watching all of us progress, watching all of us take entries, exit, watching you catch a 100 pip runner, you literally see my mistakes, bro. How much drawdown did I take here? 178 pips of drawdown across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries. I was in drawdown maybe 200 pips right here, and I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more entries on this entire little pullback right here, and then that was risking another 100 pips if we were to re-break the low. So I was risking 400 on this one. But these don't happen often, right? I got out at 50 pips profit. I made another 20 here. I'm up 70 pips for the session. Today, I'm up 150, so that's 220 pips. Yesterday, I was up 250, so that's almost 500 pips. If I would have lost 400 pips here, I would have still been up 100 pips for the week. It wouldn't have even have taken out my weekly profits. I will say these two pineapples shouldn't have happened near each other. I got impatient here and took a pineapple early instead of letting it hit this area. Had I waited and let it hit this area, I would have saved one pineapple of drawdown. And then instead of risking 400 pips, I would have been risking like 320. This would have saved me, yeah, 100 pips of drawdown. And it was because I said, look, this is what my thought process was. I was like, okay, cool. We were 12 pips away from my pineapple area. Let me just take the pineapple early and say fuck it. Because what if it reverses here and drives up? But there was nothing to reverse off of here. The level to reverse off of was here. And that's where I should have taken the pineapple and not here. Seeing as this didn't reverse the trade, this is double confirmation, right? This is one confirmation that we're not respecting a level, and this is double confirmation that we weren't respecting these supports. So where's the next support? The next support is at these hourly levels all the way down here. So I took the average, and the average was right down at this level right here. So since we didn't quite reach that level, we were off by 23 pips. Only when we rejected, we closed back into range. We tried to fake out and didn't, and failed, and closed back into range for the second time. That's when I started taking my pineapples, because I had confirmation that we were slightly gonna be forming some type of support here. So when I spammed my buys here at the bottom, I was in profit right here. I closed right here, and then it actually just continued. But yep, that was my entry. It was a scary one, to be quite honest. I need 8,000 more to pass this 300k eval. I'm at 12,000. I'm over halfway done with it. It has me very anxious, to be honest. Like wanting to pass already. Especially after this trade and drawdown. The whole time I was like, I should be taking sells here. I should be taking sells here. Maybe if I would have been on stream, I wouldn't have taken these buys. I would have probably waited. But I was on my way home and trading off my phone. Taking a pineapple early is 100% dangerous. What happens when you take a pineapple early, you're doubling the amount of risk that you're taking right off the bat. So you're seeing 100 pips of drawdown, or where you would normally see 50 pips. So where you would normally be 50 pips in drawdown and say, it's not that bad, you're now at 100 pips of drawdown, and your mentality shifts because you're now in more risk than you are willing to take. Its money printer was valid. Wishful 9 in the house. These candles are wilding right now. These candles are wilding out, and we're getting a 15-minute flip bullish right here at support. So this could be the start of the push up. But that's the same thing we thought here. That's the same thing we thought here. And we're failing to push. We're respecting VWAP here. We're just bouncing below, above, below, above. We really need to break out of these ranges here. I can't trade this range. I needed to break out. My moving averages are in the dead center of the range. Hide your fucking nipples, you disgusting Buddha. Women. There's children around. Your nipples need to be away. What's up, Big Dog Chris? Mr. Big Dog Chris with the funded account. My dog Chris with the fresh funded account. Up a shit ton of fucking money already. Killing it. Straight killing it. Round of applause. Round of applause. Today I saw a post that said people who make their bed are 230% more successful. I break all of those little stupid stereotypes. Oh, your morning routine. Oh, your cold plunge. Oh. Bro, I wake up, I sit down right here, and I go, grab my water, Drink my cold water. Alright. Now I gotta take a shit. Oh yeah, you've been making your bed since you were like 11. Your room is spectacularly spotless. Of course I remember. I remember all the important stuff. Like I remember all the dumb shit about people's houses. The second I walked into Yoshi's dad's house, I already knew where the air conditioner was, and I'm like, oh, the air conditioner is right here around the corner in the first closet, right? And he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, oh, I was here that one time 6 years ago. You remember? 6 years ago. I'm like, yeah, I still remember. Bing bong. Break the highs. Come on. Por favor. I'm gonna need you to be a little more respectful to my price action, please. I'm gonna need you to respect my pretty lines, price. Five just closed. Five closed. No top wick. No bottom wick. Money printer possible setup at a major area of resistance. This is why I need to get out of this range. Sells into this range. The best possible sells were here. I was looking for the money printer setup here. This thing actually might still flip. This is a strong 30 level. Do I want to possibly take buys? This is just a whole bunch of resistance here. Do I trust that it's actually going to break through? I want to be patient. Let's wait for it to break through that area. I've been doing pretty decent lately as far as pips go. Those are ticks. Let's go back to points. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. What kind of room we got here? 13 pips until that level. This is the 30-minute level that we've respected once, twice, 3 times. Another re-break still looks... Oh, I guess it's not gonna give a fuck about what I gotta say. Well, there's the 13 pips that I was looking for and I was targeting. So that's what I was measuring. If I were to set a buy stop here, where would my target be? And it was at that 13 pip mark. We just hit it. We reversed to entry. So I don't think I would have had enough time to close on the trade there. And that could have possibly been a break even quick 15 set stops to break even and then get hit break even. Up here. here. Alright, here I can set a possible buy stop. Oh, we have 2 minutes for this 30. Where would this 30 close? So if this 30 pops, well, then I'm deleting it and waiting for the 30. Yeah, your trades have to last more than 10 seconds, not a minute. They're trying to avoid high-frequency trading bots. So from what I've researched, there's discrepancies between price and certain brokers, and what these bots will do is they'll find the broker that's got the fastest price, and then they'll enter a buy here knowing it's going to pop 10 pips on the previous one. The bot will do it a split second earlier, catch that quick 10 pip buy, close knowing it's going to pull back within that millisecond. And then it knows, because of the way futures data works, you can highly take advantage of shit like that on prop firms account, basically, because of the way that price lags on prop firm accounts across different brokers. That buy stop would have been decently activated right there. And it looks like it's driving, but that 30-minute closure with no top wick, barely, and that 30-minute, oh, it does have a top wick, but this 30-minute no bottom wick, I wouldn't have been able to take that. Without noticing that 30-minute, would this have been a valid trade? 12 pips again. Pull back to open. Yeah, these are two trades that would have likely hit break even. So I have a friend of mine who sells a trading bot. His company's called Ascend Trading. And apparently they've been quite successful, and he's got like a whole office with like the Ascend Trading logo. And they do like contracts with people for the bot. Full support type shit, but I return more than the bot myself, so why would I need a bot to do that for me? Oh, but it could be in the background. Your mama can be in the background. I don't care. I manage my own money. I don't let robots do it for me. Paid promo. Nah. If you guys can debunk that for me, that'd be great. If you can debunk that for me, that'd be great. I was watching some interviews with like Uncle Ted and stuff like that. Some of his old stuff, and he was talking about like EAs and shit like that, and how it all depended on the trader, and how it's like an infinite money glitch until you get careless and then it explodes your account because you trusted it too much. It's like a spinning wheel at the casino. You get on the wheel when it's making money, and you gotta know when to jump off, because if you don't jump off in time, it'll fucking destroy you. But you might jump on and it's a losing streak, but then you might jump on and it flips your account 300%. Yeah, exactly. You might jump on and it blows your account, or you might jump on and it flips your account 1,000%. That's the wild thing about the bots. And that's why a lot of these guys trade it, because they know that, sell them because they know that, oh, 3 out of my 10 clients, they're gonna get a 3000x. But the other 7 are either gonna blow their account or break even, which is fine with me because I have 3 testimonials of people making thousands. The thing with bots is that you're pattern trading. You're telling the bot what parameters of patterns and numbers you want, and it's trading based off the numbers and patterns that you indicate. Does pattern trading work? It does not, if you're not at the right level. And how do you determine the right level? Market context. How do we know? I don't know. Let me stop talking shit. If you have a bot and if you've made money, you're a savage. Beep, boop, 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 boop. What are we at? 37. We are on the bullish 30-minute. Bearish. Bearish. How much I have a buy stop here? What's this 3-minute look like? I'm deleting that buy stop. $40 seconds left. Now my idea was to use this as support and bounce off of this, not to wick down this far. So this is a completely different money printer for me. 20 seconds left. Yeah, this is a different money printer for me. It might drive. But it's not the one I was looking for. That would have activated us. That would have been 10 pips. We're back tapping that zone that I said I don't want to be in. I was looking for this flip right here. Not this. Not this flip. Yeah, I'm not liking the structure too much. Valid trade. Oh, this is where we took the buy stops earlier. Why didn't I see that? Let's wait for this 15 closure. See what happens. So I was watching an interview today with some fucking guy. I don't know his name. And he was talking about the tariffs, and he was explaining how economists say that we need to be around that 750 billion mark income in trading to eliminate income tax for anybody who makes under $150,000 completely. And calculating Trump's numbers, we were at exactly 750, which would exactly eliminate taxes for anybody who makes under 150. And the way that they would structure it is the first year, how prices are going up and tariffs are causing things to be very, very expensive, they're going to eliminate the taxes on you so that you can afford the new cost of everything and you can have extra money to alleviate that pain. The next year, it will even out pricing, and people will figure out ways, and pricing will be under control. And with inflation and price control, they will be relatively the same price, and it won't cause you any more money. So that way, the second year, they can use that 750 billion to start paying down the deficit and start actually paying down our debt. Literally 1 year, it literally by the end of this year, it's possible that for example, I paid 20 grand in taxes last year. It's possible that I get those 20 grand back and don't have to pay that in fucking taxes. I don't give a fuck if Nikes go up. I just got back 20 bands. Damn, that got my ass. Super valid trade idea. The buy stop right here. 37 pips. Like you said, it's gonna come up to fill the entire range. It's just about how can we get entries. 15-minute closure. The 15 minutes closing doji, but we're closing doji pretty close to the very top of the range. Huh. My thing is, I need to pay less taxes. Didn't I have a buy stop here? And it never activated. This shit just plummeted. $15-minute closure, 15-minute close doji. The first thing it did was create a top wick, and now it's coming down, creating a bottom wick. Are we going to range tonight in this 222 pip range? Bottom wick here. And then a flip bullish. I might have a buy stop. Deadly. Can't play that too long before I get banned. Insta ban, they'll snipe me off stream. The Spanish people don't copyright my stream. They do a copyright strike, but it doesn't affect the views. But like some of the English people, when I play their songs, it'll copyright and it'll stop me from playing it in certain regions. Money printer on the 5 here. My my investment account is down 13% this year. But guess what I've done? I've doubled down. I've actually doubled how much I'm investing into the Nasdaq. I was up for the longest. I was up like 20, I was up 16% and I dropped no, I was up. I'm down total 3%. But this year alone is 13. I was up like 11% or something like that. But these are the times to start putting in your money, right? Like for example, the Vanguard ETF had a 24% return 3 years in a row, and now that the market is dumping, if you continually buy, you're gonna have another reversal like that where it continually, for at least a few years, you make 24%. If you make 24% for 3 years in a row, you basically doubled your account. Let's say you have 100K invested and it's dumping now, dumping now, dumping now. It's like at 50K now. You put in another 10, 20K. When you get those 3 years of consecutive banger returns, your account will be like at 150 or 200, and you're gonna be like, wow, holy shit, my account went from fucking 75 to 200,000 in 4 years. And all you had to do was just wait and just keep investing. And those are side investments that everybody needs. You all need to have a retirement account that you're investing in every single month, bro. Because if all else fails, if your entire trading career fails, if everything fails, if everything fails, you're guaranteeing yourself at least $1 million by the time you're 50. So in 30 years, you invest $300-400 a month, American dollars, and you'll have $1 million. If that's what it takes to in your country. If you're not from America and you're from another country, you should be figuring out ways to invest so that you can have a retirement account so that you can retire. You basically pick whatever you want to live off of, and then you gotta get to a number that you can. 4% is that. So if I want to live off of 200K a year, I need to have $4 million invested. 4% would be 160. I need to have $5 million invested. And there's my 200K. Reinvesting the other 6% to continually grow the money. You have to guarantee yourself a millionaire somehow, bro. If trading doesn't work out, if your businesses don't work out, when you're 50 years old, 60 years old, when everybody else and all your old friends that didn't think about it are all looking for jobs at Walmart and greeters and looking for jobs at the post office, you cash in on your retirement and you live off of $250,000 a year. I like trading, bro. I think that's what I'm gonna do forever. When I'm retired, I'm still gonna wake up at 6 in the morning, drink some coffee, smoke a joint, and be like, all right, what's the New York session like? Let me see if I can make a little bit of money. I don't need to make money at that point, but I'll still wanna. All right, let's see what I can do here. All right, let me close this out. My chart's lagging. Like we are just ranging tonight. What's up, Nadeem? All right, what are we looking at here on the 4-hour time frame? What does this look like to you? This looks like we're going to continue down to fill the range, right? It looks like we've already filled the range, right? Once this 4-hour closes right now, in another hour, hourly closes, the hourly is going to close bearish. The way this looks like, after grabbing this top wick, it looks like we're going to continue down to refill all these ranges and grab orders down here. That's what that's looking like, right? So, with this hourly closure coming up, you can expect the top wick. Are we gonna close respecting though? I would like it to start closing below, because if we close respecting that, that's gonna be tough. It's still, if we close respecting that, then it would be a bullish hourly closure forming a support. Then sells are a little tough. We've already rejected the top of the range a million times. What the hell is going on? We're staying above the VWAP here. We've just been bouncing under, above, under, above, under, above. We're staying under if we can keep it as support. Good for me. And I would like to take a flip past the daily highs, break of the highs. Watch this massive move. We're gonna get like a 3,000 pip move. Bro, I don't watch soccer. I don't know, or baseball. I don't know. Two sports that I can watch and I'm just like, damn. I don't understand. I prefer watching motherfuckers get their heads bashed in to see who the best head basher in the world is. I'm gonna have a buy stop here on the break of this hourly if it flips. That's gonna put me in. I was trying to move it lower to the hourly flip. You know what's gonna be amazing though? The UFC fight this weekend. Volkanovski versus Lopez. Who the what's at me right now? Oh. Look at that insta pullback. If that re-breaks the low, this buy stop is no longer valid. I like to wait till like the very last minute to set my buy stop. What a fake out.
That was a good trend line break to the downside if anybody took it. Fuck, I was gonna put a sell stop. That's too late. I'm gonna have a sell stop on the break of this low. We can reject these wicks and come straight down. I don't like this. Deleted that. Little fake out here. What a hoe. Where was your entry, Bougie? Down here? Damn, 170, 80 pips. That was ugly. We've had so much movement in the last 9 minutes. See how we're trending down though? It's not a whole lot of volume on this. Only a lot of wicks. I'm liking cells. Let's see. Look up how much a UFC tickets are right now. Shadow Storm, I appreciate you for showing up, bro. Hit the like button if you enjoy watching the streams, if you enjoy the shenanigans, if you enjoy the price action, if you enjoy watching me explain why I stupidly got into hundreds of pips of drawdown because of 2 extra pineapples that were dumb. And then we caught instant, oh no, it was right here, instant 20 pips. In New York, I was in like 200 pips of drawdown and then 400 pips of drawdown here. 300 pips of drawdown here. Hmm. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. $27 viewers. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Yeah, I'm at almost at 9,400 subscribers. At 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be giving away one of these gold notes. 24 karat. I don't show up. I live here. You're a savage, and I promise you, the second YouTube sends me a check, you're my first employee of the month. I'm gonna pay you in bits. What are they called? Bits? No. What are the YouTube? No, bits is for Twitch. What am I saying?
Beautiful. Yeah. 15 closed bearish, coming down with no bottom wick. The 15 is at an area, a bullish area. We're getting a flip bullish here first. Wow. It's not what I expected. That is not what I expected. What in the fuck? 15 close respecting. We're back in range. 30-minute is about to break that 30 high because it doesn't barely have a top wick. What's our that 30 did create a top wick there for 12 pips.
Hmm. I have a buy stop. Buy stop right here on the break of this 30-minute high once the 30-minute flips bullish to come fill the rest of the range up. Okay, that activated me. Yep, that smacked my TP for 20 pips. And that is 40 pips for the session. With that being said, I gotta go take a fucking piss.
It closed me at 19 pips. I did the math wrong. My entry was at 60 and it closed me at 70.9, which is exactly 19 pips. Where do I live? Right near the beach, boy. I live not in South Park. South Park. Oh, that's Southland Park. So, I'm somewhere in this area here. Somewhere in the west. Oh, I'm more north. Somewhere in the West Palm Beach area. I am pretty close to the water. Trump lives. Mar-a-Lago is on Southern? Or is it on Okeechobee? Mar-a-Lago somewhere down here. Oh, right here, Mar-a-Lago. You belong to Pakistan? So, I live... What the hell is that star there? Oh, that's an address that I had marked from work earlier. Alright. Wix lives... So, I live here in the Palm Beach area. And Wix lives down here in the Miami area. So, if I wanted to get to Wix, I gotta go from here all the way down to here. Oop. All the way down to here. Let's choose a random spot in Miami. Now leasing 1 and 3 bedrooms. Look, we're in the middle of the hood. Crack house. Look at this 350Z. Oh, look, now it's got better grass. This is Miami for you. We're in the hood. In the hood, my dude. Holy shit, we're pumping. Bro, can you walk my dog, bro? This guy is fucking... What do you want? What do you need? Food? Outside? Outside? You can ask me 1,000 questions, bro. If the question is, why don't you hold longer? It's because I'm a pussy. That's the answer. It depends. Lately, if... So, I'm gonna give you a good scenario on when I close manually and when I let it hit, or when I let it hit TP. Holy shit! Hold on. Let's get a 1 minute closure. There's 30 minutes about to close. Let's get a top wick on the 30, bottom wick, and then a flip bullish. Bottom wick. Beautiful. I'm set up a buy stop on the break of the high there. That wick there, I'll put it a little higher. So, over here, see how we were over the range from here to here was 168 pips and we were in the 80 pick mark. We were a little bit over halfway. Here, I have a higher understanding that price could possibly fill the entire range, or has a higher probability of at least wicking into the most logical, the average area of these right here. So I put my stop loss or my TP right here, knowing that we're over 50% of the range. We're already bouncing off of a support in the middle of the range. If price pushes up, it's most likely going to fill the range. So what's the point of closing at 10 pips when I can take advantage of the majority of the range? You see what I'm saying? So, but on a situation like this, where the range is massive, it's infinite, I would be closing manually. In a range like this, where it's not like something like this, where I have a clear target really close. I don't have a clear target here really close. Yeah, that's close as fuck. I've been trading full time for 2 years, learning from Don Wicks and you. That activated me and it slipped me. Damn, that slipped me. Yeah, I'm just gonna close there at 10 pips. 39 pips? Holy shit! What the fuck? I was gonna close at 10, but that shit gave me 39! Well, that's 80 pips for this session. And to be quite honest with you, I'm going to call that the last trade of the night. And I'm going to stay on because with this volatility and this craziness going on, we've already broken into clean range. This is where the market opened, where the VWAP gap down. So this could be an area where price just fucking dumps once we tap. But man, 39 pips on that one. 20 on the other one. And then 20 on the other one. So that's 40, 60, 80 pips for the session, bro. $260 pip runner. Oh. Savage. $260 pip runner. Now, the way that I was doing runners when I was trading separate micros, I was doing 30% runners. So I was focusing more on the first two positions. I said I was done, so yeah, I'll probably not take anything else, but a rebreak of that high there still looks good. The 5 minute no bottom wick, and the previous 5 minute has no bottom wick either. No, that's the minute time frame. Yeah, we have like 40 pips until the next level of rejection. Hey, good shit, bro. That's awesome. If this 1 minute breaks its own low, I don't think the buy stops would be valid that much anymore. Maybe not now that because it closed bullish. Nice, bro. Almost no drawdown today. I think the most drawdown we saw was like 15 pips. Oh, what I was saying about the way that I do my runners, I trim my runners in thirds, right? So let's say I have, yeah, that would have still a good ass entry. So let's say I have 3 contracts. I'll scalp with 2, and that 1 will just be a runner. And then ideally, when that runner is at 3 times the profit of the original trade, is when I would be looking to close that individual runner, unless I have more contracts, and then I can leave like more runners. Like in the future, if I'm trading 5 contracts, I would be scalping with like 3 and then leaving 2 closures for runners. And then that's how I would be doing. I would continue my scalping and then just add extra positions that I don't give a shit about. If they come back to break even, they're for scalping. And maybe even on the last one, not have a stop loss, or maybe leave it on my regular stop loss. Like if I take 4 entries, 4 contracts at a 40 pips, that is 40 pips, right? And then you leave that one final contract, hit like 50 pip stops, you really only lost a quarter of the profit, which is nothing. But if that shit runs, you're making 3 times the amount of profit. Yeah, I said I was done, or else I would have taken another buy stop there. That's why I have that yellow line marked up. But I hit the 20 pip profit twice now. So if you had a buy stop there and you haven't closed yet, man, you just hit 20 pips twice, bro. Yes. Of course. Yeah, that was extremely fast. That broke the high, split me 5 pips, hovered at 10 pips for like 3-4 seconds, and then it popped 40. Yeah, on gold, 15 to 30 pips is the ideal closure when you're scalping. A 50 pip trade when you're scalping is either a runner or a very strong pop that you got probably lucky on. When you're scalping, you're trying to take little pieces of the market as it drives. And the thing is that you can have, so look, I'll give you an example. Let's say we had arbitrary stops and we had RR trading, and we traded with RR. When we took the entry here, a stop loss below the lows here would have been 64 pips. So 1 to 1 would have been 64. You would have held for 64 pips there. It would have been a 64 pip trade. On this next entry that we took over here, the stops would have been somewhere probably down here. You would have said 77. All right, I got to hold for 77, and it barely wicked 77.
So whatever, 1-to-1. So like you manage risk however you want. These kinds of entries give you that 1-to-1 ratio the majority of the time. The thing with trading the 1-to-1 is that you're going to see a lower win rate, because if price, like what happened here, you see how this drove up? If I would have taken an L here and got stopped out for 50 pips, I would have been up 40 pips for the session tonight. But because of the fact that I can hold more drawdown and I entered some pineapples, this resulted in a W. I didn't have to take the L, and I'm undefeated for the night. I'm up 100 pips for the fucking session, bro. I've been trading full time for 2 years, learning from Don, Wicks, and you. So far, I have not made a lot of money. You could even say BE. Recently, my former boss asked me to work for him again. Should I? Listen. Whatever's happening here, that's crazy. Having peace of mind and security is key. So if you're in your journey and you're able to do it without working for somebody else, and you're comfortable where you're at, and you're comfortable continuing the grind, I would stay comfortably continuing the grind. But if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're like, damn, I'm kind of struggling a little bit to pay bills here, I need a little bit of money, or you're like, damn, having a little bit of extra money would be nice. And it depends at the point where you are in your career in trading, because you might have already picked up enough of the skill where you could balance work and trading at the same time, and maybe this extra income from work can help you deposit more money into your account and then grow the live account. So maybe a year of working, you could have a very large live account to where you could quit your job again, you know. But it all depends on where your comfortability is at. I don't even know how to say it. Like Don quit his job after making a year's worth of salary trading. He made a year worth of salary trading, and he said, okay, bet, if I ever need bills, I have the yearly salary right here. And he was able to comfortably do so. But other people aren't able to do that, and they need to work. And for me, I've been having to manage work and trading at the same time. But now it's much easier to manage trading and work at the same time. I can almost do both. But eventually the goal is to quit and be trading full time. Push your bougie. Like, even if you make $20,000 in a year trading, even if you make $50,000 in a year trading, even if you make $100,000 in a year trading, that still is probably not enough for you to quit your job. Now, if you've been making like $20,000-$30,000 a month consistently for like several months now, you've already racked up 100K in the last quarter. All right, maybe it's you have something going there and you could possibly quit your job. But it's all about perspective, bro. It's all about perspective. If you're comfortable, I wouldn't go back to working. I would continue chipping at the rock. But if you're like, I kind of need it, I will go to work. The setup is just continually playing out tonight. I'm calling it. I'm up 100 pips for the session. I'm taking it easy. 100 pips, bro.
80 pips for Asian session. This is my biggest Asian session ever. 80 pips. $80 pips in 3 trades too. Now that you're continuing to pass the daily highs, are these pushes the same as these? Nah. These pushes, you had a rebreak of the daily high, it gave you 75 pips. You had another rebreak of the daily high, sorry. It gave you 25 pips. So we're starting to get less and less of a push above the highs every time it rebreaks the daily high. So are we starting to come to a level of resistance now? Is that a possibility, or are we just going to continue trickling up here for the rest of the night, right? That's the iffy part. %8 night terpy. You're a savage. I'm at 1277 on the account. 1277. And I need 20 bandos to pass this 300k. I need 723 pips to pass. So far, I've caught 1,200 consecutive pips on this account, trading a one lot. 1,200 consecutive pips. So times that by 4, that would be 4,800 bucks in a week and a half once I get this account funded live, if I hit another week like this. 4,800 in a week, dude. That's crazy. I love trading. If you like what you're seeing, bro, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Cause man, we are destroying the markets lately. Yeah, 8 minutes here, and we're calling it a stream. What's the Nasdaq doing tonight? Oh, the Nasdaq's moving. The Nasdaq looks like it's about to flip on the daily. Yeah, we did hit that weekly level and reject. That guy caught 23,000 ticks on one micro. That's $15,000. That's wild. Yeah, gold is doing gold things. Like 7 minutes. Yeah, I'm just chilling now. Been chilling for like the last half hour. Those buy stops for the continuations were still pretty valid. I was expecting this to happen with Trump announcing more tariffs to China. It just took a while. I was expecting it to happen earlier in the market too, right? That's why I got in super early, like here, like at 7. But it fucking took a 200 pip pullback before actually making the move. See, it broke out from the same area. We are at a 400 pip daily range. Wow. All during Asian session. We've moved the entire New York session during Asian. New York session today was 480 pips, and we only need 80 more pips to destroy. This does look extremely bearish though. It does look like we're forming the lower high. This is the top wick before the celery play to come down. Yeah. This looks like the celery play to come down. That's wild how you can hedge. Turpy, that's wild. Look at this trickle up here. I would expect the reversal to be either at that level that we tapped, at this level here. We have some minor levels up here. And that's all we really got. On the hourly levels over here. This is a very bullish level here. This is very bullish. One minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. For this hourly closure with no top wick. Well, have a wonderful night, everybody. Tomorrow, I will be streaming. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow I am going to be streaming. Don't worry, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Maybe Thursday is when I won't stream, but we'll take it by day. We'll play by ear. Have a wonderful night, everybody. 80 pips on stream tonight. Beautiful, beautiful session. We only need, what, 120 pips to make up that loss? That ain't shit. We'll make that back in no time. Thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys caught some bangers. And that's it. Take it easy, everybody.